Welcome into Wideside Sports. I forgot her name halfway through.
Just look at me.
That's a good start to the show. Welcome into Wideside Sports.
With a question mark at the end of it.
Question. Sometimes
sports?
Wideside, sometimes sports.
All the time bullshit. Sometimes sports.
Mostly made up, as we said last week.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Well,
that's the show, everybody.
Oh, my God. So if you like baseball, a lot of shit's been going down at baseball, but
right.
Nobody cares.
Well, the one thing, and you mentioned that, and then you mentioned some other guys that got traded probably as I was driving over here. But the one is just like baseball. Like, they got to fucking figure out, like, the salary cap of some sort. I mean, how the Dodgers land Scherzer.
Yeah.
Of like, all right. Well,
yeah, well, is it even fair?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Of like, I don't know what their payroll is, but it's like $200 million. I mean,
yeah.
And most of the other teams are like 60.
Uh-huh.
Like, all right, so what are we doing?
Would they now have Kershaw, Scherzer, fucking, with the Bauer?
Well, they don't have him because he apparently got handsy.
Oh, yeah.
With a girl.
You're right.
Or fisty.
Or something.
Either way, I don't know. I didn't read the thing because it was behind a paywall for some reason.
That's weird.
On the internet.
Yeah, it seems like an open story.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So they don't have him anymore? Like they cut him or he's just like suspended?
No, like he's suspended.
Oh,
like
okay, gotcha.
He's being investigated.
Okay. So they needed a pitcher. And don't they have somebody?
Yeah, but you don't get Cy Young.
They still have
well, let's just bring in another Cy Young guy.
Yeah, exactly. God.
Everybody has those. Everybody has multiple one of those.
My favorite thing about baseball is that the Yankees continue to get anybody they want and still fucking suck.
Yeah, they're terrible.
They just traded for Anthony Rizzo, and then they traded for Joey Gallows or something like that, and I'm like, they're still going to suck.
Yeah.
They're not going to make any kind of run in the fucking playoffs, and they're just loaded too. At least the Dodgers win one every once in a while.
The one that made me not scared, but concerned, knowing that the trade deadline was looming. And this is weird to say this because I root for them, yet I've not watched any of it this year. Not a single inning.
Okay.
But Joey Votto's hit 7 home runs in like 6 games.
Yeah.
His last 7 hits have all been home runs. I'm like, well, he's getting traded tomorrow because he's not going to have any more value than that.
I don't know if that guy ages. Like, he's been consistent.
He's like 37.
Yeah, but he's been so consistent his whole career.
Everybody shits on him. Like, oh,
he's weird.
He is a weird dude.
Super weird.
But he's Canadian.
And I get it, but
from Toronto.
I don't know. I can't. I mean, sure, yeah, fuck him. He's weird. I don't know. Are people from Toronto weird?
I assume so.
Okay.
It's a city in Canada. Eh?
Eh?
Give me some of that Tim Hortons there, eh? And bud?
Ellie?
Although I was watching, Canadian-wise, I did watch, and it might be some of the greatest video ever.
Yeah?
Is compilation videos of mic'd up from fucking hockey.
Oh, yeah?
Especially when they're mic'd up and getting fights.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Hey, you want to go?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go, bud. And they just throw their gloves down, start fucking punching each other. And then they hit the ice. That's when they break it up. It's like, all right, good job, bud. Yep, that was a good one. And then they go to the penalty box.
The nicest,
it's just fucking over.
The nicest fighting I've ever heard.
But almost all of them are like, hey, you want to go?
Yeah.
Yeah, bud. And that's just, and then when like they're in the penalty box or mic'd up not for something like that, it's like, hey, buddy, hey, fuck you. You're a big fucking pussy. You don't belong in this fucking league, buddy. It's like, what the fuck?
What's going on?
This is awesome. And everybody's like, well, that South Park has it wrong, buddy.
Yeah.
It's like, no, they don't.
No, they don't.
That's exactly how it's going. And it's like saying vicious shit.
Yeah, but saying buddy afterwards.
But the way it sounds, like even the one guy said, you fucking do that again, and I'll cut you up.
Yeah, but he said it.
He's like,
this Canadian
hey,
accent.
you do that again, and I'll cut you up, bud. It's like, well, I mean, it's very different.
Yeah.
The way you deliver that, of like, because it's a serious threat. Like, are you going to take your skate off
and
start sawing him?
And Happy Gilmore. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot Happy did that.
Yeah.
They should have never let him on tour.
No.
But it is such a great thing.
I had to look that up because that's funny. Because Canadian accents are funny anyway because they just sound so nice.
Yeah.
And then it seems kind of lazy.
Yeah.
You know, like almost like speech impediment lazy.
Yeah, bud.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember when we went to Canada for a fishing trip, it was like, hey, you got to take your motor and you got to portage across the lake over there and go to the other boat. And I'm like, okay.
What's portage?
Yeah. I was like, do we
have to pick the boat up and walk it across land?
He goes, you got
a boat?
I'd be like, so like the other boats on the other lakes don't have motors on them? No, you got to portage your motor. Can't you just say carry? Like,
yeah,
a normal person?
What's portage, pal?
Portage is when you walk through the woods.
Oh.
Yeah, apparently.
So pal, you telling me to grab this motor and take a hike?
Yeah, that's exactly what he's saying.
I could have walked it home.
They call four-wheelers quads.
Well, yeah, that's starting to come down here too.
Is it? Yeah.
I've heard fucktards call them quads.
He goes,
Hey, I got a quad.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
Me either.
Me too. I have a vehicle.
I have a vehicle. It's got four wheels. Yeah, I don't get that one. Yeah.
Unless it's talking about a family member. That took a little bit to sink in.
All righty. Yeah, I guess he could have.
Could have been. I wasn't paying attention to the conversation. He said something about the war in Afghanistan, and I just thought he got a fucking four-wheeler. But I don't know.
Just a two-wheeler now.
Oh, God. 7 minutes.
7 minutes, and we've already pissed off two groups of people.
Yeah. The Canadians and the veterans.
And three of the paraplegics, too.
Yeah. No, paraplegics.
Yeah, sorry.
I said quads.
Yeah, my fault. They're okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whew.
Yes, the Canadians. Fuck them, huh?
Yeah, I guess. Didn't we have a lot of downloads from Canada?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
We get a fair amount.
Yeah. Love you guys.
You know, they make fun of our shit all the time.
Yeah, why not? We do stupid shit. Look at Florida. We do stupid shit.
But just that, hey there. Hey there. Hey there, oh there.
Hey, bud. Funny.
That, I mean, I know you are not a Letterkenny fan, but I think you've watched some of it, haven't you?
Yeah.
Like the two hockey guys, how they fucking talk.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the mic'd up is. Except it's fuck, cunt, bitch.
Nice. Okay, I have to look the mic'd up.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's way better. If you like NFL mic'd up, which is pretty good, it's 100 times better.
Okay. Look that up. That's
because
funny.
NFL, obviously, they edit all that out.
Yeah.
It's,
the NFL.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's got to be good.
Like, I feel like they should, if I was Amazon, you know, because they're starting to get in on some of the NFL packages, and if we could wrangle the Sunday ticket away from DirecTV, that'd be fucking fantastic.
That'd be great. Put it on Amazon.
But if they could have a paywall of like, hey, I want the mic'd up shit. No edits. I want to hear it.
I want to hear what they're fucking saying.
Yeah, because that'd be just like, you're going to tell me in the whole Myles Garrett thing that it's like 4 people on that field within at least 2 of them were mic'd up, and you're telling me you got no audio.
Yeah, exactly. I want to hear what the fuck was said.
Oh, you're a really good player. Why are you hitting me?
I didn't even do anything.
I'm not good at all. But I keep getting paid.
Yeah, fucking some reason. Oh, man. Football training camp started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers showed up, which is expected.
I don't know why the whole big deal. Like, everybody.
I have no idea.
Like, I'm sitting here as a Broncos fan, and they were the most talked about team to be the ones to trade for him. And I knew all along that he was going to be a fucking Packer. Yeah. Like, it didn't cross my mind. I mean, I hoped because it's like Aaron Rodgers.
That's one of those things when they say, like, on ESPN and everything, of like, well, he showed up and this is shocking. His story, he didn't get anything or blah, 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 all that stuff. It's like, well, you made the story up.
Yeah.
At what point in time from the draft when Adam Schefter broke that story till 2 days ago or whatever, Aaron Rodgers never said a word.
No, that he was
not one word.
No.
And they're like, well, yeah, he just is wasting he's so much drama with this guy. It's like, he never fucking talked.
Nope.
You know who did? The Packers management.
Yeah, they didn't shut up. They kept, I mean, I feel like if they would have made one comment on draft day about the rumors and just said they're not true and then left it alone, he probably wouldn't, none of this would have ever been a thing.
Yeah.
But they just made it so much worse.
They could have came out and said, Adam Schefter's full of shit.
Yeah.
Now, they couldn't say that because they're the ones that told him
exactly.
that. And when you read the story, you can obviously see that's what happened.
Yeah, but they wanted to stir the fucking pot. I have no idea why.
To get the fans against him.
Oh, yeah.
So if they had to cut him or if they had to trade him, they'd be the good guys.
Yeah.
Which is also what Gutekunst did yesterday.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Was it yesterday or the day before? Whenever Rodgers talked and laid it all out, which was fucking awesome.
Fucking awesome.
I mean, went in there and just shit all over the front office. Like, well, this is what you did wrong. This is what you did wrong.
Yep.
Not saying you have to sign everybody, but maybe not treat them like shit when they're walking out the door. Like these guys did stuff for you.
Which he is 100% correct.
Yeah.
That list of players he named off, he's 100% correct, and nobody even realizes it because you don't get all the other backstories to it. None of those guys were offered contracts.
Yeah.
None of them. It's, how do you not? Like, he's talking about right after they won the Super Bowl, Charles Woodson won Defensive Player of the Year, and they didn't offer him a contract because it would have been more than what they wanted to pay.
Jordy Nelson wanted to take less money, and they didn't offer him a contract.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, we got to get rid of guys. You hold on to guys for too long, and then there's another guy that doesn't get a chance. Like, hey, not saying you got to keep everybody.
Offer him a contract.
Maybe not. Maybe treat him as a fucking human.
Yeah, don't just say sorry.
I think that's what it is. Like, well, they're commodities. We're running a business here, and we're trying to keep the best guys. Like, they're fucking humans, man.
Yeah, exactly. They're people.
It's 2021.
Uh-huh.
Fucking internet exists.
Yeah.
You got to do shit the right way. Of just fucking talk to him.
Yeah. And then, you look at the two linemen he named off, TJ Lang and Brian Bulaga. Those 4 or 5 years where Rodgers was hurt half the season, if you have Pro Bowl linemen on your roster, he probably doesn't get hurt.
Well, and then he goes back because obviously they trade for Randall Cobb back. So even when Gutekunst comes on to replay that, he's like, well, we're bringing Cobb back just for Aaron. And he's setting that up. So if Cobb has a bad year, see, look, we didn't want this fucking guy.
Yeah.
And Aaron said had to have him.
Yeah. See, that's bullshit.
That's what they're doing.
Aaron wanted fucking probably Jordy Nelson because they had one of the best combos together for a long time.
Yeah.
Before Devontae Adams was Devontae Adams, Jordy Nelson was his connection.
Yeah.
And then Devontae Adams was back, and then he had the Randall Cobb. Just, whew.
The Gutekunst thing is just such everything he said was like, hey, man, like, there's nothing that this guy said up there that wasn't true.
Oh, yeah. Clay Matthews, you didn't offer him a contract. Yeah. He would have retired a Packer. He only needed a year or two to be done.
I think it came out too. I think AJ talked about it. Like, he offered to restructure his contract so he could stay a Packer, and they cut him.
Yeah. Yeah. This is crazy.
He's like, and he played another year. They're like, well, he played for the Bengals. Well, that Bengals team should have won a fucking playoff game if, Vontaze and
exactly.
them didn't decapitate Antonio Brown and then start shoving refs for some fucking reason.
But
they were on the 20, but now they're in field goal range.
Yeah. But he's not. I mean, Clay Matthews was the only defender on that defense for a long time.
Yeah.
And you treated him like shit. They treated Clay Matthews like shit so bad they moved him to inside linebacker for 2 years.
Yeah. He's losing a step of like, Well, he's not an inside linebacker.
No, not even a little bit. He's losing a step. Only put him on third down then. I mean, if he's losing a step, be more creative. Don't just moving positions. Yeah.
That's the one. And then, you read, obviously, with AJ being on McAfee's show.
Yeah.
And I love AJ Hawk because, one, he's funny as shit.
Yeah.
But Ohio State guy.
Mm-hmm.
So many people coming out as like the most overrated draft pick Packers history.
Oh, I know it.
I'm like, what?
What?
Well, he's number 5. He played there for 8 years. He's your all-time leading tackler and won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
What the fuck do you want?
Mean? Yeah.
And they say, well, we could have got this guy. It's like, you didn't even know who the fuck that guy was. He was drafted 27th.
Exactly.
You didn't even know what school he was from, whatever. It's like, well, they should have got that guy instead of him. I was like, you didn't know who he was.
He was anybody who drafted that guy at that point in time had no idea who he was. They took a shot.
I imagine 4 guys in front of AJ Hawk, maybe 2 of them probably out of the were busts. I assume they were mostly quarterbacks.
Uh-huh.
I'm like,
I think one was Sam Bradford.
Yeah.
I think.
Made more money than anybody and never played.
I mean, definitely one was, I think Brady Quinn was taken in that draft, made a couple picks later.
Yeah, Bradford was one because he was like the last one to sign that fucking $80 million
deal.
contract.
Yeah, fucking that's so stupid. That's when you took linebackers there.
Yeah, because that was part of the game.
Yes, it was. They were a huge part of your defense back then, and he was the best one. He got screwed out of the linebacker award because everybody jerks off Penn State.
Yeah, the linebacker, it's like,
yeah.
Are they?
They're okay.
I mean, suck.
Yeah.
They're Penn State.
Yeah. The old Nittany Lions.
Walking around. I mean, they all ran like they had tight buttholes.
Yeah.
And I see why.
Yeah. That was a good one. That one got me.
Yeah.
That was good.
But, and we've talked about that at length about how shitty people are at drafting.
Yeah. And you want to say that's your worst
because
one?
You just don't know.
Yeah. But he literally, like you said, he's your all-time leading tackler.
Yeah. And they're going to shit on him when he gets in their Ring of Honor, which if he's not, or their Hall of, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Their Packer Hall of Fame. He's your all-time. You claim to be the greatest franchise in the history of the NFL, if not all of sport. He's your all-time leading tackler, for fuck's sake.
Yeah. I don't get that one. You could go down the list and fucking pick the ones that sucked, and that's not one of them.
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus. I can think of one right off the bat.
I always love that, too, and I've seen a couple comments like, AJ Hawk, always there to make the tackle 4 yards down the field. He's a fucking linebacker. The fuck you think he's supposed to be?
He starts at 4 yards.
I think that's where the NFL does a disservice, is when they call... It's getting better because they just start calling him edge.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, well... I think people confuse outside linebacker and linebacker. Like, well, fucking, they're both linebackers. This guy had 16 sacks. He had 1.
Yeah.
It's like, he's a fucking defensive end.
Exactly.
They just call him an outside backer for some fucking reason.
Yeah. Because he's standing up.
Yeah. Oh, he stood up.
Yeah, he's a linebacker now.
Yeah, no. Fucking people are stupid.
Yeah, they are dumb.
So back to baseball.
Oh, God.
That was a cool thing, though. I did on the whole Joey Votto thing of like, I think that's where it originally started. Then we started shitting on Canadians.
Mm-hmm.
But like a lot of people just talk about with the Reds of like fans that shit on him because they signed him to that 10-year deal of like, he's
your most consistent
hit
player.
Over 300 every fucking year, I think. Sorry, we're coming back. We had a little break there. And, back into the Joey Votto thing, but like I think for a career he's hitting like right around 300, won an MVP, and they're like, this is the worst signing of all time. It's like they actually kept a guy that's really good at baseball.
Usually they just
for the first time, and you're fucking shitting on him.
I see in all the sports, it makes me like as a fan, as a person who just loves to watch sports. How come more teams don't reward the people who want to stay? I mean, you look at like the Joey Votto situation. he's going to be a Red for life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You look at, Kobe and the Lakers. He was never not going to be a Laker. You know what I mean? Why the people who, and then we bring up the Packers and their situation, like Jordy wanted to be I'm sure most of those guys, if you offer him a contract, they're probably going to want to restructure. Rodgers said it the best. This is not a, vacation spot.
Yeah.
People come and want to play with me. He's 100% correct.
Yeah, because fucking Green Bay.
Exactly.
I want to say, I think I'd looked it up. Obviously, if we're from Ohio, anybody outside of here is not going to know. But I think Green Bay is like the size of Bowling Green.
Oh, yeah.
It's like...
It's not big.
Here's 3 roads.
Yeah.
in like 20,000 people.
Yeah.
There you go.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, it's Wisconsin in the fucking fall and winter.
Yeah.
It's cold.
Yeah,
it's
cold
not
as shit.
It's not a good spot to be in. And he's 100% correct. It's the Brady effect, too.
Yeah.
How many people took pay cuts? I know he took a pay cut to get people to come to them because they wanted to play with him, but they're like, I don't want to go to New England.
Yeah.
It's awful out there, it's cold as shit. That's
I think
the
we
part.
Just burped at the same time.
Yeah, that's funny. But that's the stuff that makes me mad. 1, as a fan, and then 2, just like, what are you doing? If the player's good, offer him a contract, and if they don't want to do it, then it's on them. At least you made the effort to fucking re-sign him. Like, you see all these teams now, like the Chiefs, the Buccaneers, even the Patriots there for a while, they got all their guys back from the Super Bowl. I think it was like the Eagles and the Falcons, most recently ones that were in the Super Bowl, like half their teams left afterwards.
Yeah.
Why? Why would you do that? You just, like, everybody's like, well, they're going to get bigger contracts from other teams. Not if you fucking keep them.
Yeah.
You have the chance to talk to them first.
Right.
Say, hey, we can.
And that's the thing with that, like with the whole Gutekunst thing. Like, you can see it from him. Like, you can just see that kind of that ego of, this is mine.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah,
when there's success on the field, people should be thanking me.
Yeah.
It's like, well, this guy's been the 17 years.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, longer than you.
Uh-huh.
He's the one that actually makes the plays.
Yeah.
You sit up here and go, well, this guy's good.
Exactly. Yeah. Anybody can see that.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah. I mean, it's... I just don't get that one. But yeah, Aaron Rodgers getting up there and just fucking tearing down the whole front office was fantastic.
And I didn't see any of the response from all the people that were shitting on him.
Mm-hmm.
And then he laid it all out there, and I didn't see anybody saying...
No.
Except for Stephen A. Smith. He goes, I've been telling you that it wasn't about money, that it was about being disrespected.
Yeah.
And he goes... And that's the... And you actually heard AJ talk about it this week, and other guys have came out and said it from Green Bay is... Hey, if you're on the scout team, the backup linebacker on the scout team is treated the same as Aaron Rodgers, which in theory sounds great. Hey, everybody's the same, but you're fucking not.
Nope.
He's Aaron Rodgers. He's Devontae Adams.
Yeah, yeah.
They're not the same.
No, they're not the same whatsoever.
They're
Sorry,
just not.
buddy.
I mean,
sorry,
they're just not.
It's not. That one. Yeah, that's weird. It's not weird. I mean, it's nice that they treat the scout team people with some respect, but it's like it's Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah,
you
can treat them with respect.
Yeah.
But, hey, when you're gonna go make a decision, maybe the 2-time MVP, Super Bowl champion, been here 17 years, is only, I think, what did they say? Throw less than. Did he ever have a 5,000-yard year?
I don't know if he did or
a
not.
fourth.
Less than 4. He's never had less than 4,000 yards.
Yeah, but it was something like whoever's thrown for over 4,000 or 4,500, whatever it is, and less than 7 interceptions
Something
or whatever.
like that.
It's like he's the list. Only one to ever do it.
Yeah.
So when you want to talk about a receiver or something, maybe talk to the guy that throws the ball to him. Because then the story came out, I heard yesterday. I think it was somebody on Dan Patrick or somebody. And they were talking about Eli Manning. The year they beat the Patriots when the Patriots were undefeated that year. In the preseason, their training camp, they were talking about cuts that they were going to make the wide receiving core. And they brought in Eli to ask his opinion about the wide receivers.
Yeah.
Now, that's Eli Manning.
Mm-hmm.
Good player.
Yeah.
I like Eli.
Mm-hmm. He's not Aaron Rodgers.
Fucking Aaron Rodgers.
Not Aaron Rodgers.
And they laid out who they were thinking about cutting. And Eli says, don't cut him, keep him.
Mm-hmm.
They says, well, he kind of grades out as the worst. He says, but I trust him because he's always where he's supposed to be. When I just need to throw the ball, he's where he's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, David Tyree was that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty big fucking thing when you think about you asked your quarterback in preseason, and if it wasn't for him saying that, you cut that wide receiver, and he's not where he's supposed to be when Eli slings the fucking ball down the field and he makes a play.
His helmet,
and wins a Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's shit like that.
Yeah, that. I mean, and then you bring up that good point. It makes you think about Aaron saying him being mad that they cut like technically on the depth chart he was like the fifth receiver. He liked him.
He trusted him.
He trusted him. He knew he was going to fucking be where he was supposed to be, and they didn't even ask him. The guys he throws to all the fucking time,
and it was
they didn't ask him.
And it was the day after he did a press conference and talked about how much he liked the guy that cut him the next fucking day.
Next day.
Didn't even tell him. Just cut him.
Just cut him. Yeah, it's fucking...
That's a
fucking shit.
Now, the one thing is obviously because they had their shareholders meeting and they have to release their financials because they're publicly owned.
Yep.
And it's very bland. And obviously, I was watching McAfee's show and they kind of broke it down. They had Andrew Brandt on, who used to be the contract guy, and he was talking about that. But it's fucking interesting. And they hide money and stuff like that. And it's a very generic. Obviously, I've dealt with P&L reports quite a bit. And there are, I mean, shit tons of information come out on that.
Yeah.
And this is like, here's 5 lines of information. It's like, well, you're a multi-billion-dollar company. Like, there should be more on this sheet than you're showing. But okay, whatever. You spent how many millions of dollars on what now?
Yeah.
It's like $150 million they spent on something. It's like advertising and stuff like that. It's like, one, you're the Green Bay Packers. What are you advertising?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like a 30-year waiting list for your fucking season tickets. Where are you advertising?
People have to die.
So you're going to need to explain that. But when Andrew Brandt was on there, he's like, all right, well, you see this? This is the local. They only made $68 million. That's because they didn't have any ticket sales. Because the year before, it was like 180 million or something. But then he goes, but this number here, this is the number that everybody gets in the NFL. It's $383 million before the season starts.
Oh.
He goes, that's every team gets a check from the NFL for $383 million before the season starts.
To do what you want with it?
Yeah, that's from the national TV deals and stuff. $383 million. So you're already profit.
Yeah.
You're already in, because salary cap's, obviously it's a weird year, but call it $210 million.
Yeah.
You're already up.
Yep, you're already in the green, buddy.
Haven't sold a fucking ticket yet. Haven't sold any nachos.
Yep.
So it's kind of cool seeing that of like, oh.
Yeah. These guys are fucking loaded.
Yeah.
Loaded.
And then they turned like $140 million profit investments last year.
Yeah.
Which means just, property that they own around because that's what they asked. They asked Andrew Brandt of where's this? Well, he's like, well, it used to be called the Packer Capital Fund or whatever for doing stuff in the community. And he's like, there's like billions of dollars in there. It's like, here's $140 million. It just gets thrown into an account. Of like, oh.
Yeah. See, so that shit right there, then it just
like
makes
nobody fucking knows that.
Then it just makes you wonder, like, okay, why the fuck does it take you so long to do upgrades on your stadium? You know what I mean? Like, you already have the money. Like, it should just be wherever you fucking want. That's where you're you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the whole Vegas and Raiders thing. Like,
right.
It shouldn't have been a big deal at all. Like, I know the Raiders probably here.
He doesn't have any money.
Yes, he doesn't have any money. I get that.
Like, he inherited
but the organization
the team.
itself, from just those payments, like you said, that what I mean? It's stuff like that. It's like,
well, that was like Jerry Jones. I think he came out. It was like, what was it he say? Is $80 million every home game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, we got like 8 of those.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Fuck. Yeah.
On top of the $380 million from the league.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Yeah.
And I think that's what the Packers are trying to do, because they're buying up real estate.
Mm-hmm.
And that Titletown thing they're trying to do. Hey, man.
They're trying to make it look like
the fucking Patriots have more than you. So, I mean, calling it Titletown anymore, let's get the fuck out of here. I mean,
they're not going to call it Packer Town. Seems like they're getting the wrong audience.
Well, they were the Acme Packers.
Yeah, they were.
Actually, I think they were the Meat Packers.
They were. Yeah. Yep. Had to change that name.
I was just thinking about that meeting. Hey, people keep making fun of us.
Can we do something about the name?
And they're trying to do, which is probably the same thing like Chicago when they bought that piece of property.
Yeah.
Because like with, Jerry Jones buys that. He owns like the hotels around it and all the restaurants. Like, Patriots did the Patriot Place thing, so they own everything. So not only are we getting your ticket, your beer, oh, you're staying in that hotel. Yeah, we own the hotel. So we're also getting that. And
which is just, one, it's just smart business. Two, it's just like my wife and her 2 brothers went up there 2 years ago, and she said it was just cool. She goes, you literally felt like you were in a small mall, but there was a stadium in the middle of it.
Yeah.
It's like, she goes, it was like a giant ass strip mall. It was probably 4 or 5 miles wide, and you could just walk in circles and everything was there. Shops, food, whatever you wanted.
Yep. And I think that's what they're trying to do too. That's where those investments are coming in.
Yeah.
And that Chicago people are, well, they're moving it. It's not Chicago. It's one. Your stadium's fucking garbage.
God, it is.
It's fucking terrible. But you want to, make money and billionaires, which I think they might sell the team, right?
Chicago?
Yeah.
There was something
they said
in
something
that.
about that. Like, she's really old.
Yeah.
I think her husband's the one that founded them, wasn't she?
Yeah,
she's still that original.
She's that original lady. Yeah, good for her.
I mean,
that's really old.
Shitty owner.
Yeah, I mean, but she probably
never had a quarterback ever. Ever.
Yeah, that is weird.
I mean, I don't want to shit on Justin Fields, but you don't know yet. I mean, you can find out in a couple years.
Yeah, but I still just thinking of quarterbacks and organizations, and the Green Bay Packers have had Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers for how many years? 30-some years?
Yeah.
2 Super Bowls?
2 Super Bowls. Tampa Bay's had Tom Brady for 1.
It has 1? Is that so weird?
Did he have any say-so? No. Yeah, so Antonio Brown, Rob Gronkowski. Feel like that was a Tom Brady thing. I feel like both of them caught touchdowns in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. I hate the, it's my team, my way, I'm doing it how I want to do it, fuck everybody else.
Yeah.
Like, I get it to a certain point. Like, sometimes you just got to say no. But
and you're seeing this too, and we were talking about that, cutting guys early and stuff like that, because everybody wants to be Bill Belichick.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he's very successful with that. Well, he also had Tom fucking Brady.
Exactly.
And most of the guys that he was cutting were fucking defensive guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which was, they always had a really good defense. But, weapon-wise, they always had little white guys to go over the middle and get their head ripped off.
Yeah, and then Randy Moss.
For a year.
Randy Moss.
Set all kinds of fucking records.
This is what happens when you give him a fucking awesome receiver. Yeah. I hate that. I hate that. It's, your players were fucking the ones doing all the work.
Yeah.
Ask them their opinion.
And it's not all of them. Like 1 or 2.
1 or 2.
That's it.
Yeah. But Bill did things. Bill didn't cut the fucking number 1 overall draft pick after year 2. He cut the 6th round pick.
Yeah.
Or he would trade his first overall pick for 5 third rounders and then cut 2 of those. I mean,
it was always the one that is like, well, I got this guy because he's a Division fucking 3 center that might be able to play guard or long snapper. But if he's good, I'm going to look like a genius. If he's bad, I'm just going to cut him, and nobody's going to know who he was.
Exactly.
And that's what he did.
Yes. I mean, Belichick cut somebody, traded somebody else, and ended up with fucking Stephon Gilmore.
Yeah.
Best or second best cornerback in the league.
Yeah.
I mean, it's stuff like that he does. I mean, he's either cutting somebody who is only playing one position because he likes to, put him at different spots. Everybody knows that. He likes to move him around, and if you can't do it, then you're probably not playing for him.
Right.
I mean, his defense is very multiple. When you look at the whole, scheme of things, he doesn't run a 4-3 or 3. He runs a bunch of different shit. That's why he players.
Runs what it's called for.
Yes, exactly. That's why his players. I mean, you typically he always has one guy who plays his defensive end, and he's just his. He sets the edge.
Yeah,
he's always had one of those. And then other than that, he's got pieces to play into it.
Yeah,
he's always had pretty decent linebackers, and that's why I read a big article about. Defense is the NFL. Why have all these defense changes in the NFL, but yet, you look at Belichick and the Patriots, why have they been consistent? And the whole thing was, Belichick builds his team around not necessarily the giant pass rush that everybody else does. He builds it around he goes, it's going to sound weird. It's like his off-ball linebacker is typically his best defender.
Yeah.
Because he knows that he's there all the time. He's not getting blocked because he's not part of the run scheme.
Right.
He's free. He's making all the tackles. That's why Dante Hightower hasn't been cut yet.
Yeah.
Because he's just the best. That's why he wasn't cut when he did set out last year, because he knows
when everybody else was.
Exactly. He's coming back. He's my foundation point, which is why their defense has been so successful. You don't see them spending giant ass loads of money on pass rushers.
And they're always good in the back end.
Exactly.
And here's one thing that nobody talks about. When they talk about defenses, it's always like linebacker, which is weird that it still gets talked about because it's just not a position anymore. But pass rush, it's like, does anybody realize what the base defensive package is in the NFL? It's fucking nickel.
Mm-hmm.
It's nickel.
Yeah.
It's a fifth defensive back.
Yeah.
So if your defensive backs suck, you can't play in the NFL.
Exactly.
Because it's a pass-happy league.
Mm-hmm.
There is no 4-3.
Yeah.
It's fucking nickel package.
Yeah.
And then you have to figure out how to run against the nickel. That's what it is.
Yeah. And, the teams, the good quarterbacks get the ball out fast. It is what it is. But when you have that good back end, that's where your pass rush comes from. It's not, a lot of people think it's the other way around. Oh, your pass rush helps your secondary. In some ways. But if that first read's not open, you're sacked. Because most quarterbacks don't get the ball out that fast after your first read.
Right. Only the really good guys
Exactly.
do.
So that's where you're getting your sack. The cornerback took away their first read, allowed the defensive end, defensive tackle an extra second or so to get back there.
I want to say, like, in their top years, like you look at a Peyton Manning and Tom Brady, never 3 seconds.
No.
It's like 2.6, 2.4.
Mm-hmm.
Of like,
yeah.
Well, good luck.
Exactly.
I mean, you can be the best pass rusher in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you totally fuck over the tackle.
Yep.
He's at least getting a hand on you.
Yeah.
And that's enough.
Yep.
I mean.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, I just like how it all evolves. Just, go back and just look at the early 2000s and that defense and stuff like that. Like, everybody was just, you were big and slow.
Yeah.
Not necessarily slow, but slower than what it looks like now. You know what I mean? Like,
well, because they couldn't throw the ball like they can because the middle of the field wasn't open because you get your fucking head ripped off.
Exactly.
I mean, that's just. Hey, we're gonna let you throw this 12-yard pass. Just let you know that safety back there is gonna fucking knock that guy out.
Yep. It's like the 2013, 14 Seahawks. That's like the one. It's like right after that, the defense has kind of started to change.
Right.
Like they were like the last defense that would just murder you coming across.
Yeah.
And got away with it because whatever.
That wasn't. That wasn't.
It was just right in between that whole what's the illegal hit, what's not, you know what I mean? So that's like the last one in this now era or whatever you want to call it. Old school style defense more than what you see now and stuff.
I miss those days a little bit, but it's more exciting now.
Mm-hmm.
They do more shit.
Yeah, it is. It is exciting. And I mean, a big hit to me is just as cool as seeing somebody undercut a fucking out route for a pick six. You know what I mean? Like, that shit is just as impressive as knocking the fuck out of somebody.
The one that it really hurt, though, is just the evolution of it. It was the college game. Because the teams, it's such bad football in college that you only have 3 teams that, hey, we're going to put up 50.
Yeah. Good luck.
Good luck.
Yeah.
We don't think you have the athletes to put up 20.
Uh-huh.
So.
Yeah.
That is a weird thing to say, and I know a lot of NFL guys say that, but like college football is bad football if you watch the NFL a lot. I mean, it just is. And there's only 3 teams in the fucking thing.
Yeah, I mean, we're saying it's not necessarily bad football schematically, it's just bad football competition-wise.
Yeah, no, schematically also. Because they don't run defenses.
You're right.
I mean, there's no change. It's pretty
much
they're not professionals yet. I mean, it's not.
You're teaching 18, 19-year-old kids
you're
defense
teaching them how to play. Where like the guys in the NFL of like, they're telling the coaches shit. I mean, like, you know.
Yeah,
and it's just and it doesn't have to be that way because your top tier guys is like, well, he's a 5-star and this receiver here's a 2-star.
Yeah,
I don't need to tell this guy shit. I think he can cover him.
Yeah.
You know, it's. I mean, it's. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
How about that? Did you see the Quinn Ewers story?
Yeah.
Thinking about forgoing his senior season in high school to enroll at Ohio State.
If it's going to happen, it's going to happen this week. I was told by a inside source that if it's going to happen, it'll be this coming week because his high school will be starting this coming week.
It's a weird thing.
Yeah. He thinks he's going to make millions with his endorsements.
Make a few $100,000.
Yeah. Which is wild. It's so cool. But it's
awesome.
But it's so wild to think that he may not be 18 yet.
He's not.
17-year-old kid.
Yeah, because that's one thing. He enrolls this year, he'd be drafted before he's 20.
Yep.
Because it is not an age thing for the NFL. It's removed from high school. So if he gets his GED or if he's got enough credits to graduate.
Yeah. That's so crazy.
Doesn't matter.
So wild, isn't it?
That'd be something like if he enrolled, because I think Ohio State's in camp already, aren't they?
Yeah.
But if he enrolled, came in, and just fucking lit it up, and they're like, well, we're just going to fucking play this kid.
It's CJ Stroud
if he was 17 and just fucking slinging it for Ohio State, of like, if that happened, then he's going to make $1 million.
That's so wild. So wild. Like, it makes me smile, like, so big.
Awesome.
I'm like, that's so cool, but...
And it's awesome, and I love it because all the old fucking whites and all that shit are like, they shouldn't be getting paid. They shouldn't.
Yeah.
Like, nobody gives a shit about the coaches, though.
Yeah.
The defensive coordinator is making $2 million. You don't even know his fucking name.
Yep.
And the defense sucks.
I use this guy as an example. He's probably the best in college football, Larry Johnson, as a defensive line coach. $900,000.
Yeah.
As a position coach.
Yeah. Not even a coordinator.
He has
assistant
to the head coach or whatever associate head coach, which means if Day gets suspended or something, it's his team or whatever. But $900,000 to coach the defensive line.
Yeah. God forbid that kid make 50.
Yep. It's so wild.
Like, well, it's just not right. It's like, whatever. You just had a 17-year-old girl win a fucking gold medal.
Yeah.
In the Olympics. She made $0.
$0. Yeah.
Think about that shit. Think how much NBC and how much the Olympics just made. She made $0 fucking dollars.
Yeah. Well, what's the chick from Alaska who won?
That's her.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. That
was awesome.
That was so cool. The school party and everything.
Did you see the video where they synced it up with the school and stuff?
Yeah,
that was like, oh my
chills.
God.
Yeah, I was like, that's so cool.
And her reaction when she looked at the board and was like,
Yeah.
And she's got red hair.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't even know they could swim. That's fucking crazy.
That's funny.
They burned them as witches back in like 1700s in Salem.
But yeah,
so they throw them on it.
You're still going?
They threw them in the water and they floated. They burned them as witches. It's like fucking humans can float. Like all of them.
Yeah, all of them. All of them can float. Oh God, are you reading a book about that or something?
Nope.
Okay,
it's just knowledge I have.
You have. background knowledge for this particular moment.
I mean, it's pretty fucked up.
Oh yeah,
what they did. I mean,
yeah. What are your thoughts on the whole Simone Biles thing? I mean, did you hear about it?
Yeah.
Okay. Like I
when it was explained what her issue is.
Yeah,
makes fucking sense.
Makes fucking sense.
Even if she was just having a mental problem and having a mental breakdown. Okay. I mean, good. That's the right move.
Yeah.
Everybody that's fucking shitting on her, like,
oh, I know.
You're letting the cut. You're bad at gymnastics. Like, no, best ever.
No, best ever. 100%.
Like, they have to make up scoring for her because she does shit that nobody else has ever done before.
See, that pisses me off that they don't give her full scores because it's not fair to the other people.
Because they don't, because nobody else can do it.
That's the most like that would piss me off mentally. Like that's more where I was coming from. I'm like, I'm the greatest ever, and you're not giving me what I'm due, and I don't even make money off of this.
Yeah, greatest ever.
Yeah,
and people shitting on her
for it. It was like, and then Michael Phelps. I'm sure when Jesus' child, Michael Phelps, came out, they're like, oh yeah, we understand, we know. He's like, yeah. He goes, people fucking. He goes, they see. He goes, I think he said he got like the silver one time.
Yeah,
and people were like shitting on him, saying he sucks. What a piece! You couldn't get fucking gold. Like, got fucking silver. I got second place in the whole entire world.
That was one when they come out and explain what's actually happening, whatever they call it, the twisties or whatever, where it's like a form of vertigo is what they call it when you're spinning and stuff that you can't. So when you get that explained and then go watch her on the balance beam when she didn't do well, and then you go, oh, yeah, it looks like she didn't know what the fuck's going on. And she's landing in bad spots and losing her balance. Of like, yeah, it makes fucking sense.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, she could at least tried. Okay, well, she jumped fucking 15 feet in the air and did 6 goddamn backflips while twisting.
Yeah.
You think if you don't know where you are spatially that you might break your fucking neck?
Exactly. I didn't get the whole people shitting on her thing. It's like, God
it's
damn,
always somebody
guys.
sitting on the couch that's never done anything.
Yeah.
Coach would have put me in on Wheel One State.
Yeah.
No doubt in my mind. Like, all right, man. I can tone it down.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have been in conversations with people like that.
Mm-hmm.
That, like, the last time they played any sport was, like, fucking junior high.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'll tell you what, when I played, it's like, you didn't.
You didn't play.
You played junior high.
You didn't even play.
I only played high school type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I played in some other golf things, but if you only played in high school stuff, you didn't play.
You didn't play.
You didn't play the game.
Nope, not at all.
You have no say so.
No,
never.
Yeah, I didn't get, like, none of us can do anywhere close to what that lady can do.
No,
and she just is. She needs a break. Like, it's fucking, like, it shouldn't be weird where she gets fucking like hate mail.
Yeah,
and like death threats because she's like, I don't feel like I am good enough to perform right now. Like, that's crazy. That it made no sense.
And then give her extra credit because she just could have came in and said, hey, I got this little thing that's almost vertigo. Like, no, she didn't even make an excuse. She said, I don't want to hurt my team.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not performing good enough.
Yeah.
So we're going to let them go.
Yeah, she did it professionally and still people shit on her.
Well, shouldn't do it professionally. She's an amateur.
Yeah. I know.
Fucking Olympics. Fucking people, man.
I know it.
I love getting into some arguments though with some old people about football and stuff. And I got into one. Oh, it was out, the coffee drinkers. Mm-hmm. And the one guy, was talking about, it was after Ohio State, Alabama, and they're talking about him not understanding. And I don't know a lot about defense, but I know more than most.
This guy.
More than pretty much outside of you, probably more than anybody listening. Because I watch shit on that. Actually, Darius Butler's everything DB or whatever when he breaks that shit down. I mean, that's awesome.
It's cool.
And I watch that shit all the time because I like to learn, for when I'm in the league.
Yeah.
But I was talking with him and he was saying, oh, with Ohio State's defense, this guy should have done this and this. Like, that's not how not how defense works.
No.
Well, he could have just stepped up. Well, if he'd have stepped up there, then that guy on the other side would have had an 80-yard touchdown on the backside.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but that's not where they were going with the ball. Yeah, it was. Well, no, they threw it to this guy. It's like, yeah, but if this guy steps up, he's the guy they're fucking reading.
Yeah, exactly.
So if he steps forward, he's going the other way. But
Yeah.
trying to get them to think that of like, you have no fuck, and you've been a coach
Yeah.
20-some fucking years.
So weird.
Granted, in a different sport.
Uh-huh.
Doesn't seem like you know a lot about that one either when it comes down to it.
Yeah.
But, you know.
For sure. I know what you mean. I know what you mean. That's, you know, and you get that even at the fucking small ass level that I do things at. It's like, you know, I don't have anybody parent wise or anything that comes up and bitches or anything,
Right.
but they ask questions and you can tell that they're upset, but they don't know enough to have a really reason to be
Have an
upset.
opinion, yeah.
Yeah. And it's just like you explain it to them and they're like, oh, okay, like that makes sense. Like, yeah, that's how it
We're
kind
only
of
allowed
goes.
to have 11
Yeah.
on the field.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's like but you know, they're not knowledgeable of it, so they wouldn't understand it. You know what I mean? But the people who think they do understand it and are very, very for sure in their mind that they understand it, those are the ones that you can't even fucking talk to.
That's well, I feel like if this kid would be over there doing this and this, that it would help you guys. Like, well, you know who does that? First round draft picks.
There's not many
We
of them.
don't have that here.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, a little bit.
That's fucking. I mean, it just gets me on I like getting into some Twitter wars a little bit. Just kind of listen to, and not even like responding to anything, but just watching people go back and forth. Like I read one. And it was basically a math-based question.
Yeah.
Not even a question. Kid makes a statement.
Mm-hmm.
And the person does the math.
Yeah.
It says, well, no, it's not right. You're like,
Yeah.
you can't do that.
Yeah.
I don't know where you're coming up with that. And then they break down the math. And he's like, I mean, I don't totally agree with what you're saying, but okay.
Yeah.
But I still think I could do it.
Yeah.
And it was basically how far he could drive in 24 hours.
So math, literally math.
Literal math
that you can calculate.
He's like, no, it'd be if you did 75 mile an hour, didn't stop for gas or to take a piss, it would take you 26 hours to do that.
Yeah.
I don't know where you're coming up with that answer. Well, here's the math.
Here's the math. Yeah.
Well, I don't agree how you came up with this. If I didn't stop, if I just stopped for a quick bite to eat in a drive-thru, it's like, no. You have to do this and not stop.
Not stop.
Like not even 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Straight through.
Like you can't have a traffic jam.
And then acknowledged like, I guess okay, but I still don't agree with how you came up with that. Like, nope. Straight up fucking math.
Yeah, it's not hard.
You know, that 60 mile an hour thing.
That's the thing. You're going to go 60 miles
1 mile in a minute.
Yeah.
1 minute equals 1 mile.
Yep.
Here's how it works.
God, those people are stupid.
It's awesome, though.
Mm-hmm.
It's awesome.
Awesome to get those idiots.
I see. Greatest thing. I think it was in England. And it was a headline, not at, probably like a Daily Mail kind of thing, like their rags or whatever.
Yeah.
Because people are getting back in the office buildings, like people who have been working remotely.
Mm-hmm.
It's like within the first week, guy got caught jerking off in his office.
Nice.
And his excuse, I thought I was at home. I mean, that is just fucking...
I
know the last year and a half, I just midway through the day, I jerk off. Well, I hadn't seen Carla and her titties were looking good. And, I'd only seen her in the Zoom and it was just close up of her face. And then she had these things pushed up. I figure I need to tug one out in the old office there. I'm sorry. I thought I was home.
I thought I was at home.
That's like the Costanza. I didn't know I couldn't do that. Yeah. We didn't feel we needed to tell you that you cannot jerk off at work.
Yeah. That's funny.
And that comes into, I re-listened to that Mindhunter.
Yeah.
Obviously, I love the Netflix show. They're still talking about maybe bringing it back, but it doesn't seem like it's going to go that way. But it's going through the part, and it reminded me when I read that, of the story from Mindhunter when they were doing the second season, the Atlanta child murders.
Yeah.
A guy they thought they caught the first time because they found like a Playboy or whatever with his semen on it in the woods.
Yep. Yeah.
And it turned out of like his wife was pregnant. He's just jerking off. And could you, and the way he puts it in the book, he goes, now imagine this. The guy's wife's 8 months pregnant. He doesn't want to cheat on her. So he jerks off. Doesn't even do it at the house. Goes out in the woods. Nobody's going to know. And he says, and the president of the United States knows that this guy was jacking off in the woods outside of Atlanta. I mean, not just that guy. No, like your specific name, he's seen your picture. The president of the United States knows you were jerking it off in the fucking woods.
Let alone everybody who saw them arrest you thinks that you're the child murderer in Atlanta.
You're the child murderer.
Nope.
So what'd they arrest you for? Well, I jerked off in the woods and they thought I killed 26 kids.
Yep.
Wait, what?
What?
We're going to have to let you go.
How about that? How about that conversation?
For jerking off? No, the fact that you're a suspect for killing 26 kids.
Yeah. About that conversation going home. Cops bring you home. Honey, you're not going to believe this.
You know, the bad thing is how it all ends up is that when they figure out that, hey, he didn't do anything. He's just jerking off in the woods. And everybody knows.
Yeah.
And you just go, they take him home and he's like, hey, man, sorry.
Yeah.
It's just fucking, that's it. Of like, hey, go ahead and try to put your life back together.
Yeah.
Sorry we accused you of murdering 26 kids. But, hey, we exonerated you. We went ahead and told the local newspaper that you were just jerking off in the woods. Didn't have anything to do with it.
You're just jerking off in the woods. Gosh.
I think that was even a thought process. Like, I'm going to go get me a Playboy, and I'm going to go out in the woods and jerk off. Like,
and then leave the Playboy there.
You couldn't come up with any time at your house. They could have just jerk off in the shower.
Something. Bathroom, maybe lock the door.
Lock the door. You going to tell me that your wife was awake and at home 24 hours a day, 7 days a week?
You couldn't find one time?
For the last 8 months.
Couldn't find one time to unload.
You don't have a garage?
Yeah, say.
You can jerk it in your backyard?
Something. It's not fenced in.
How you doing, Jim? Yeah. Well, just, wife's pregnant. Yeah. Sorry.
What you doing out there? Oh, nothing. Ruffling some feathers. Cleaning out the pipes.
That is a weird thing, too, of like, I can't imagine that fucking guy when he gets picked up.
Yeah.
And he's like, we found your semen in the woods next to a dead body. What?
What? Yeah. What are you talking about? I just jerked off.
Start thinking, I was just telling your story and going, fuck, I was sitting on a log, right? Was I sitting on a body?
I thought it was really dark.
Yeah, all right.
Do you think just to get back to his, masturbating, he obviously probably did it in the evening time, right? Like dark. I think he had to hold a flashlight in his mouth while he did it as he turned the pages. He's going to need at least one hand to hold the magazine.
Right.
And one hand on your meat.
Well, his original story, which they didn't cover in the show, but it's covered in the book, is that he used the magazine to jerk off while driving, and then he threw it into the woods. Well, they found it in the fucking woods. Of like, you had to throw a magazine. So, he's driving down the interstate, jerking off.
Then finishes. Throws his book 200 yards to the woods.
Man, the Falcons should get that guy.
Yeah.
And that had to have been an over-the-hook,
I don't know. I guess magazines the wind would catch it. Yeah.
There's no way.
No way.
Unless it came a lot and got it all glued together. But I feel like they'd need dry time.
Yeah. I feel like yeah.
Maybe do it in a parking garage or something, man.
Just lock your bathroom door. Thank God internet exists now.
Yeah. Jerking off in the woods.
Yeah. That's funny.
That's shit you just don't hear anymore.
Nope.
Yep, we caught Jim jerking off in the woods. And we're going to book him.
We're going to book him.
I did, I watched the Tomorrow War.
So did I.
I thought it was good.
Okay. Yeah.
I think they said something about making a sequel. I don't know why.
I don't know how.
It seems like it's all buttoned up pretty good.
Seems like you guys finished.
But I know a lot of
good.
people shit on it. It's like Well, it's not up for an Oscar.
Yeah, I mean, it's
an action movie.
It's an Amazon original.
It set the premise for like the first 10 to 15 minutes, and then it was pretty much action the whole time.
Yeah.
That's an action movie.
It was kind of nice.
And I'm going against people that were shitting on it.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized that I spent the last couple of weeks or month or whatever shitting on another movie.
Yeah.
And I will take a stand on that because that movie's garbage. But this one of like, it's least enjoyable. Like I didn't have to fast forward through any of it because they didn't have any bullshit.
Uh-huh. I'm with you. I thought the alien things were cool as shit.
Yeah.
Like they shot shit at you. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like those weird like tentacle things.
White spikes.
Yeah. And they shot spikes at you.
Yeah.
Like that's
Try hardened semen. They got the idea from that guy jerking it in the woods.
Probably. But like it was something different too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it wasn't the same old fucking like just weird alien that wants to probe you. You know?
And I like how they told the story of how it's tethered and hey, awesome.
Yeah. I'm good with it. Yeah. They explained the time travel thing too. Yep. It wasn't just, a free willy-nilly back and forth.
I mean, it's just when I read, because I'd read that there was going to be they were thinking about a sequel before I watched the movie.
Oh, okay.
And then I watched the movie and I'm like, well, I don't know how they're doing that. I mean,
unless there's another spaceship somewhere in the other parts of the world that you don't know about.
Yeah.
I thought it was cool that they tied his daughter in at the, that was cool. Yeah, that was a nice little touch there. And then fucking J.K. Simmons comes in out of nowhere and
he's awesome.
He is fucking cool. He's got that white ass beard. Looks like a strong Santa.
Even in with the Andy Samberg movie.
Oh yeah,
that he's stuck in that loop or whatever, like the Groundhog Day.
Uh-huh.
He was fucking awesome in that.
He's a funny guy. I mean, he's got that dry dad humor, and it's cool.
Yeah,
cool.
I even you ever watch that Burn After Reading?
No, I haven't.
It's like Brad Pitt and all them. And it's like a CIA, and he's like I don't know that he's the director of the CIA or whatever, but he's high up in it.
Yeah,
and like it's a whole bullshit thing, and like they all wrap it up, and the guy's explaining to JK about, well, we can make this go away doing this. He's like, yeah, fuck it, do it. She wants some plastic surgery. Yeah, pay for it. Just make it go away.
Yeah.
Well, what do you want me to do with the bodies? Burn them. Just get rid of them. He's like, does that handle everything? Yeah. He goes, all right, well, I guess we learned our lesson. Whatever the fuck that is. And that's just kind of how it goes. It's like, but I just love that conversation. He's like, well, we got these bodies. When you burn them.
Burn them.
Get rid of them.
Oh, God.
Guy's trying to flee this guy's trying to flee the country. You want to stop him? No. Let him go.
Yeah, I didn't mind the Tomorrow War. I didn't know what to expect. The Amazon Prime movies kind of get put on the backside compared to their like TV shows, because their TV shows are typically pretty good.
Yeah.
The ones that they advertise, the ones they push out are usually pretty good, and their movies are sometimes subpar.
Which I think this one's okay because this was a theatrical movie that Amazon just purchased the rights to it because it never got a theater release because of the COVID.
Mm-hmm.
But their TV shows are
the ones that they push out are really, really good.
I started watching that Goliath.
Okay, yeah,
pretty good.
Yeah,
Billy Bob Thornton, who's fucking awesome. I bet he's cool as shit to hang out with.
I bet he is too.
It's like, I look like this, and it's fucking Angelina Jolie for a long time.
Anything's possible.
Yeah. Pretty sure he banged Halle Berry too. I mean, it looked pretty realistic in that movie.
Real in that movie, yes. Yeah, he played a pretty good hitman in the Fargo series too.
Yeah, that was really good.
That was really good.
Yeah,
it was like, see, that's Billy Bob Thornton to me. Like those weird kind of, like him as the football coach in Friday Night Lights is like, that's not that believable.
Yeah,
like I love the movie. Like it's one of my favorite sports movies, but I'm like, could have picked somebody else, right?
And I think the Bad News Bears thing, I think that was just because, hey, like, this isn't even as good. Like, the original's funnier than this.
Ooh, I don't know about that. I don't know.
It's not, I mean.
Pretty fucking funny.
It's okay.
It's pretty fucking funny.
Now, the one at the beginning when he's like, hey, I never thought I'd say this, but look at the ass on that second baseman. That's pretty funny. And then the scene where he's like, "Hey, I just stopped by to check, make sure you got to oil your glove."
Yeah. What are you doing here, Boilermaker?
But it's one of those things of obviously I've seen Bad News Bears quite a bit, and it's just that remake thing.
Yeah.
And they're into the remakes of movies that weren't good in the fucking first place.
Which one is that one?
Just any of them that have came out, like Red Dawn, shit like that. I never liked Red Dawn.
The first
I know
one,
a lot of people love it.
The first one is super, super boring to me.
Yeah.
The second one I really liked. Like, I thought it was, I don't know, maybe it was just because the action was better in it. I don't know.
Yeah, well, you know what I mean? One was made.
Yes, it was. Yeah, I understand that, but yeah, the first one's super boring to me. Like, it's like really like.
Well, I think a lot of where I
really drug out,
where I get problems with remakes, like when they remake RoboCop and stuff like that, is like.
Yeah, the RoboCop remake sucked.
Yeah, but then it brings back up, like, because I loved RoboCop, not the remake, but the original.
The original.
But then you go back and watch some of it, it's like, this doesn't hold up. Like, it looks really shitty. So it brings that back up of like fuck, they kind of need to remake, but I need it to be exactly the same. Like, shot for shot, just with better shit.
Yeah.
But,
Well, that's kind of, I know I'm speaking to my inner child, but like all the Disney remakes where they make them like the live action.
Yeah.
Like, if it's not the exact scene for scene, line for line as the cartoon, then I'm like, well, I don't want to fucking watch it.
I'm out.
I don't. Like the new Mulan, you didn't even have fucking Mushu in the new fucking Mulan, the live action one. He's a pretty big part of the fucking cartoon.
Is he? You think they did it because it's a racist name?
Mulan? Or
no, Mushu.
I don't know.
Is he pork?
He's a dragon.
Oh, I've never seen the movie.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'm talking to a wall right now. Fuck. But like the Lion King.
I don't know that I have seen any. Maybe I've seen the first Despicable Me. Maybe.
That's not Disney.
I don't give a fuck. It's a cartoon.
Me either.
And I enjoy some of them, but I've just never seen any of the.
Yeah, the Despicable. The first one's pretty good. I think the other ones are just. They made money for kids, and that's why they kept making them.
Yeah,
Plus, it's Steve Carell. It's going to be funny, even if he's a cartoon guy.
Yeah, but I know you're a massive Disney guy.
Yeah,
you're a Lion King fella.
I am.
What's your ringtone?
It is my ringtone. Circle of Life has been for the last 12 years.
I did watch. Have you watched End of Life? I think that's what it's called. The Ricky Gervais thing on Netflix. It's like 2 seasons.
No.
But there's only like 6 or 8 episodes in each season. It's such a different kind of, like the premise is like his wife died of cancer and like his dad's in a home and with Alzheimer's or whatever. And he's pretty much, I'm going to kill myself kind of thing.
Okay.
But it's that I'm like, man, this is really sad. But there's just enough of him having an outburst on somebody that's like when he calls somebody a fucking cunt.
Yeah. That it keeps you hooked.
That it's like, that's pretty funny. Like it's like a sad story-based drama comedy.
Yeah.
That is like, there's just enough.
I don't really like Ricky Gervais. He's not for me. Like,
he's okay.
Yeah, I mean, I know he gets like a lot of shit for being like the guy who just says whatever he wants, but
yeah,
to me he does it too much to where like
it's a bit too much.
Just shut up. You didn't have
the Mel Gibson thing was awesome.
Yeah,
and then it's like, okay, check it down a little bit.
You don't have to say something about everybody. Yeah. Like it gets pick and choose which ones you want to go after.
And I liked him because HBO did it. Do you have HBO Max?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they hold up, but it's called The Ricky Gervais Show.
Oh, okay.
And they had it was him and his writing partner, Stephen Merchant.
Mm-hmm.
I liked Stephen Merchant, funny as fuck, But they used to have a radio show that was kind of like a podcast.
Gotcha.
And it was Ricky, Stephen Merchant, and the guy that was their producer, but then was just part of the show is Carl Pilkington.
Okay.
And all HBO did is they took parts of the radio show and they animated it.
Oh, okay.
To it.
Yeah.
It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Because Carl Pilkington is like they kind of just fuck with him.
Yeah.
Because his thoughts are like, you're either a genius or a serial killer and smart, or dumb.
Okay.
I mean, it's like trying to wrap your head around of what the fuck is this guy talking about, but then it's kind of
makes sense.
But it's funny.
Yeah. I'm with you. So the Max put out this show, and it's basically the shit on the king and the royal family.
Okay.
They just put it on there like a couple days ago, and it looks like it's going to be like a Family Guy, South Park kind of just making fun of, you know what I mean? But it's just set as the royal family. I watched like a half an episode, and I was like, oh man, this is so bad. Like, it could be funny. Like, I mean, because there's a lot of shit that you can make fun of those people about. Like, but it's so bad. So bad. Like, they tried, like, you have to know about that stuff for, like, he made one comment, and like, you could tell that it was supposed to be like a dig, but I was like, I don't get it. I know nothing about them.
So it's like basically they made a show that if you didn't watch that Netflix show, you wouldn't get it.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty tough.
Yeah, exactly, because I'm not watching that boring ass shit on Netflix.
Which is weird, because usually, now lately, series-wise, I mean, now obviously they had the Mayor show.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, that was just I don't know that they're ever doing anything like that again.
No,
I mean,
I couldn't imagine
they're all just like, here's 6 of this and 6 of that.
Yep.
But used to be, if they put a series out, fuck good.
Yeah. Like the last,
but now it's just kind of like
these little mini series is every like 6-8 episodes, and then
are usually pretty good.
They're fucking awesome.
But like, Sopranos, stuff like that. That was always they all just bangers.
Yeah, like The Wire was pretty good, and Sopranos, and then fucking Game of Thrones was fantastic, and
that was that was one thing I took, because I told you I watched that Bosch.
Yeah,
and like his partner, I think they call him J. Edgar, and I think it's Jerry Edgar or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
He was in The Wire.
Oh, okay.
He was Marlowe.
Okay.
In The Wire.
Mm-hmm.
And then like it was like the final season of Bosch, and they were doing something because they had to put a phone tap on somebody's phone.
Mm-hmm.
And it's other detectives in there. It's like, so this shit's like The Wire. You ever watch that? And he just goes, yeah, I binged it. And I mean, it's just like little things like that I fucking love, where they just like throw that in there. Because it was just for them.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
But everybody get a little inside.
It may not even have been written. They could have just fucking said it.
Just like, you ever seen that?
Yeah.
But that their other stuff, it's like it feels like, hey, here was something that's been trending on Twitter for 2 days, so we're going to make a 10-part series.
Yeah.
And by the time we film it, nobody's going to know what the fuck it's even about, because it's like, hey, you're reacting to something that only lasts for like 2 hours.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't get it. It's supposed to be coming in August. There's like 4 or 5 new drops coming to the Max. Like like Warner Brothers, like they go to the theater and the streaming. There's supposed to be some pretty good ones coming.
See how that goes, because they're getting sued by every actor.
Yeah.
So Scarlett Johansson.
Well, that's Disney.
Yeah, but you're probably going to see the same thing.
Oh, yeah. They're violating contracts and...
Yeah, because they get box office points.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hey.
Yeah.
Well, you only sold this many movie tickets. Well, yeah, but you put it on, this.
Yeah. Yeah, which that's pretty big deal when it comes to the contract stuff like that. Now, granted, I feel like since HBO kind of is Warner Brothers, like they're the same, I feel like it's probably in the contract already. But like Scarlett,
it will be, because most of these movies were filmed before they.
But like I'm saying, like Black Widow was filmed before there was going to be a Disney Plus thing.
They just couldn't.
They couldn't get it out.
They couldn't get it out fast enough.
But yeah, like I understand that.
I still haven't seen it.
Me either. Probably not going to watch it. No.
I don't know what they're gonna do.
I kind of already told you.
Oh, that's right.
The ending, kind of a little bit, where it probably seems like it just matters that part to the rest of them.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's right.
Yeah.
I always wonder where they're gonna go now, and I wonder, like, with all this shit happening, that movie theaters are what they are. If, like, Robert Downey Jr. is like, I guess I'll be Iron Man in like a different universe then.
Yeah.
I'll just go ahead and come back for this. Cause, I did that Dr. Dolittle thing, and it
didn't go over so well.
Did not go well.
Yeah.
For sure do another Sherlock Holmes, though. Maybe do that.
I liked those.
Well, I mean, they're... what's his name? Director. Fuck, I can't even remember his name. It's like my favorite director. All his fucking movies that we talked about.
I see. I gotcha. Yeah.
With Snatch and all that stuff. Same guy.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I didn't know he did those Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's why they're kind of that dark kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, for sure do that. Don't do
Doolittle.
And with a British accent.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't get. Why is he?
Whatever accent
Eddie
was.
Murphy is Dr. Doolittle to me. Just do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why you like? Those did phenomenally well. Why are you? What are we doing?
Yeah, I don't know what the hell.
What are we doing?
Yeah, and whatever. Yeah, like you said, that's not even really a British accent.
Yeah, I don't know why you're. Yeah. Why do they have to have any accent?
I don't know.
Just be
Dr. Doolittle's not.
I feel like he has to do accents in other movies because he's turned himself into Iron Man.
Yes, he has to.
Because he talks like he's fucking Tony Stark now. Of like,
he just says
well, hey, that's
cocky shit.
Yeah,
I feel like that's just him anyway. Like,
yeah. But like even his cadence now is like, well, you're not Tony Stark though.
You're not.
I mean, he's just not.
Well,
and that was one of my Guy Ritchie was the guy's name.
Guy Ritchie, yep.
But because he's very funny and he's very cocky in that Kiss Kiss Bang Bang movie, which is fucking great movie. Yeah. But it's that was kind of the Tony Stark before Tony Stark kind of thing. And that's another thing of like, he was a nobody before Iron Man.
He was a drug addicted.
Yeah, because he'd been kind of.
Yeah, well, he was in the pop. I mean, like Weird Science and
he was in that like that 90s kind of thing, and then he had all his fucking issues, and like everybody was like, "All right, we're done with you."
Yeah,
and then Iron Man is like, "Oh, you're the biggest star in the world now."
Yep, crazy.
People cried when you fake died in a movie.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
exactly. Yeah, you meant that much to us nerds.
That everybody knew you were going to.
Yeah.
For like a decade.
Yep. Like, because it's.
You kind of showed it that was coming.
Yeah. In multiple movies that you were probably the end game.
Well, I think on that note.
Yeah.
This is probably about the end of that because we're reaching.
Yes, we are.
All right.
Whiteside.